Can I ask you a question, Marjorie? In
Yes.
your book, you're talking about,
Yeah.
we'll talk about your book more, but you mentioned Jan 6. I've always wanted to ask you, do you think it was an inside job? Do you think it was, or they were opportunistic? They being the left imprisoning the J6 prisoners.
Don't you think it's all Pelosi?
Do you think they let him in purposely?
I think it was entrapment. I think it was entrapment. I think that's the appropriate term for it.
Yeah.
Similar to the Whitmer kidnapping case. You know, that insanity.
Yeah.
So the same way there was like, I don't know how many FBI agents versus like just a few of these guys that totally got taken advantage of. And yeah, they did the wrong thing, but they just were, it was like a honey trap.
But you guys were going to dispute the election, send it back to the states. That January 6th happened, and then the vote went through. It seemed like I guess what I'm saying is I think they might have planned the entire, not saying that we weren't responsible.
I think they definitely
I think they
did.
might have saw that they were angry. They shot bombs, smoke bombs in the crowd, and they thought this is a good way to get out of the vote. Were they that smart, do you think? Or do you think they just...
I think they were that smart. Nancy Pelosi had, she had intelligence. They gave multiple intelligence briefings back in December.
Yeah.
I know of as early as December 18th, maybe even before that, that there was threats of violence, people were planning things. But they also had that intelligence because why? The FBI had embedded themselves into all these groups, and it was like an entrapment scheme going on.
Yeah.
And they were antagonizing them and pushing them, just like we saw Ray Epps go into the Capitol. That same thing was happening in all these social media private group chats all over the place. This was and they've talked about it. These January 6th defendants have talked about this extensively, but the media doesn't cover it. And so I think it was building and building and building. I think the Democrats knew it was coming. Nancy Pelosi had been briefed on the intelligence, and she turned down the National Guard. So did the mayor of D.C. publicly in a letter she put out on her own Twitter on January 4th. No National Guard. Nancy Pelosi said no National Guard, so they left it wide open.
Did she say why she didn't want to do National Guard? I don't remember.
She didn't give a reason that I know of, but she turned down the National Guard.
Even the police chief came out saying that everything they said was pretty much a lie. But I think there was a guy on Twitter, and he disappeared. And I asked people what happened to him. His name was John Here to Help. Do you know who that was? But a full year before it happened, about 8 months, he tweeted, "They're going to steal the whole election. They have it all planned." This was a year before the election.
Wow.
On Twitter. He was a whistleblower, but I think he disappeared. But he said, yeah, they have it all
planned out.
All planned out. And how you know? Well, I think they were like Swalwell now. They're all, and like, what's his name too? They're all making documentaries about themselves.
Of course.
And Pelosi hired her daughter to make
on January 6th.
Yeah. To do the reality show or documentary, because they're like, oh, you know, Netflix is going to pay us $20 million on top of that.
Oh, totally.
So it's like, well, all we have to do is document. And so, like, she picks up the phone. These are my favorite things being a Hollywood person. She picks up the phone and it's off. There's nothing on the screen.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, there's nothing on the screen. It's
I
black.
did see that. Yeah.
And she goes, tell him he'll have to go between me and the police. I'll be damned if he's gonna looking right at the camera with the thing
She
off.
probably did multiple takes.
Yeah, that's probably her.
They were like,
take.
her daughter's like, do it again, Mom.
A little more
I didn't
energy.
really believe it, Mom. Put a little more of your. And then everybody that's following Pelosi documenting this fake insurrection that she's making a reality show out of, because she wrote it, and then, you know, her staff, who are all probably writers I fucking fired. Half of the shit that goes on at the Democrat Party is writers I fucking fired because they're so cornball and hacks. I couldn't use them on my show, and they ended up writing for the Democrats.
How about that?
I'm telling you.
I believe you.
It's true.
Yeah.
So anyways, there they are writing her reality show, you know. And then it showed all the crowd of people, her supporters. They're really her donors. I got all figured. You know, I know everything. So they're all taking pictures of her doing, I'll stop him if it's the last. And they're holding up their phones, and they're all black too. There's nothing on any of their phones because they're like they'll screen it in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, probably so. Like they didn't have to think about it.
Yeah, they're
It's
just
insane.
in the reality show
Isn't that crazy?
that she's writing about how she saved our democracy from our constitutional republic.
She didn't. Yeah, right. And then she proceeded for the next 2 years as speaker to destroy our country.
Yeah.
Literally destroy our country.
They double
They
speak.
passed the Green New Deal.
Yeah.
Totally passed the Green New Deal, which is
Abysmal.
the Communist Manifesto, basically.
Yeah.
Went on. She passed a bill twice on the House floor that would make abortion legal up until the day of birth.
Yeah.
They all voted for that. They love baby killing. It's
They
their
do.
favorite sacrifice.
Yeah.
To the devil. They love it.
Yeah.
And
Well, they love the baby blood. They love bathing in that and drinking it too. Now
I've heard.
Yeah, they do.
I like your mom. We're gonna.
I love it.
I says
I've
in
been
my
waiting for
act,
this
I
for
put
so long.